We're thrilled to have you here this morning to be a part of this informational webinar about this amazing opportunity. We, as you know, focused on AI at our spring VAS conference, and we have had deep discussions with the Department of Education, and we're thrilled now with the support of a grant from the Department of Education to be able to offer free AI learning over this next school year for up to 60 school divisions. It's an exciting opportunity, and I really appreciate Dr. Coons working with VAS to know that this is the right thing for our superintendents and for our school divisions. And so it's just an amazing opportunity. We think we're the first in the country to actually be partnering with the State Department of Education to offer this kind of AI training. And we've turned to an outstanding partner that has worked with us on several other initiatives in VAS, ALP, to do this work, and super excited to welcome them to the work as well. So today, for 30 minutes, we're going to have just a brief overview in this informational webinar about this opportunity. And then don't forget the deadline is August 1st. We actually already have 42 of our 60 eligible divisions that we have grant money for. 42 have already registered here in Virginia. So we hope you like what you hear today, that you can move forward and join us in the cohort. And I can tell you it will be transformational. I myself am just getting really immersed into AI, and I think it will be transformational for you and your school district. So I believe I'm supposed to turn it over to Adam Gary with ALP, and Adam is just a AI expert known throughout the country for his expertise. And Adam, we're glad to have you, and tell us a little bit more about this wonderful opportunity and learning more about AI.
Thanks, Scott. I'm actually going to turn it over to Dr. Van Hukelum from Winchester. He was going to say a couple of words. We've worked with Winchester on some of this generative AI stuff, and then he's going to turn it over to me. So over to you, Jason.
Great. Welcome, everybody. Jason here in Winchester, superintendent. We've had a great experience already working with Adam, and we started over a year ago getting going with AI training for our leaders, and now working through what that's going to look like for our teachers and ultimately our students. Been very eye-opening and but very productive. So I'd encourage anybody who's needs to get on this road to join the cohort and take advantage of this opportunity. We're going to take advantage of it as well here in Winchester to add to what we already are doing. Our stated vision goal is that on day one, when Gemini is launched, we're going to buy Gemini for our kids immediately on day one, and our kids and teachers will be using Gemini the first day that it's available for K-12, or this 13-year-olds to 18-year-olds. So that's our stated vision. We're working towards that goal. We expect that to happen, later this year, and we want our kids and our teachers to be at the tip of that tidal wave and ready to go and not be afraid of it. So that's our goal, and Adam's helped us with that, and we look forward to continuing to work with them. And again, have had a great experience, and encourage anybody to work with the cohort. So Adam, back to you.
Thanks, Jason. And I'm joined by Amos Vodchuk, the president of ALP today. And Cindy, as you pull up those slides, maybe we'll have Amos just kind of say something quickly to the group.
Sure. Thanks, Adam. Thank you, Jason, and good morning, everyone. Really grateful to be here. Any questions that you have, I hope you feel comfortable asking them. ALP, in partnership with Adam and our extended team, have worked with well over 60 school systems across Virginia, the United States, and into Canada around the purposeful integration of generative AI at system scale. And so the experience that we're facilitating is customized and really focused on your needs. And so we're looking forward to getting started with you if you choose to move forward. And I just want to reiterate our gratitude to VDOE and VAS for the invitation to serve. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. All right, so I planned maybe 7-8 minutes here, just kind of giving you an overview of what the 4 days would look like within the cohort. After that, we're just going to open it up for questions. Jason can answer questions as well. So kind of the place that we start from is the current state of generative AI in school districts, and across the country and in Canada, that place seems to be right now that school districts need the procedures, policies, guidelines, and frameworks to, grow this systemically. And yet we already have teachers and students using this technology. So it kind of puts us in a bind, and this is all designed to kind of help you so that you're not in that bind and you can really shift the focus and make sure that everyone across the system, instructional and non-instructional, is on the path for AI literacy and using these tools. So if you go to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit here about day one, and that what you see on the slide right now is day two. So in day one, we really do kind of talk and we facilitate a conversation around this idea of what are the possibilities and risks with generative AI. The outcomes are pretty simple. It's like, look, this is technology, it's not magic, but what does that actually mean? How is this being incorporated into the world of work and society? And then what are those implications for education, including academic integrity, ethics, and bias? All of it is facilitated. We don't talk for more than 15 minutes at a time. There's lots of activities and conversation. And we do it across district. The idea is to help have people have conversations with folks also outside of their school system, because there's people that are already doing great things, and we want to capture that. That's day one. And in day one, we really want cabinet level folks there. They don't have to participate in 2, 3, and 4, but they're welcome to do it. But we also need the folks that are going to roll up their sleeves and kind of do the work for your district in day one. Because when we get into day 2, 3, and 4, that's kind of where we really do the hard work. And essentially each one of these days, 2, 3, and 4, we're always going to start with what's been happening in the world of AI, because this is an emerging technology and it really changes so quickly. So it keeps you up to speed on all of those things. And then we kind of start to work through what are those major problems that we need to solve for, if we're going to scale this systemically, and we start building things. And within that context, we come with lots of resources to help you, so you're not starting from scratch. And you'll also, again, be working cross-district, so you'll get to see what other folks are working on. So that's day two, and the outcome you can see in that bottom right is a what we call a dissemination matrix, so you know exactly how to get those resources out. And then an outcome of day two is the next slide, which is then you'll have a localized story about your implementation for generative AI for your school district. And this is where you embed all of your guidelines and frameworks and policies so that there's one functional story. Some folks are doing a PDF like this, others are just building it directly into their website. So that kind of gets us into day three. We'll continue to work on these in day three. And then in day three, we then shift our focus to our year of learning AI literacy plan. This is designed to go across the entire system. So if you look in the bottom right, you'll see there's even an area there for non-instructional staff. We have a template and resources that we share, but all of this needs to be localized. This is also where your professional development will be aligned. And we kind of work on this in day three into day four. And that really brings you to the end where you'll have everything you need. Yep, you can go to the next one. You'll have everything you need for those, for your school system to be able to scale systemically, and then an AI literacy plan to actually start working on to ensure that everyone's on a path for AI literacy. And that is it. We can stop sharing and then open it up for questions.
Well, let me go over some logistics. How about we go over some logistics first, and then
Yes.
for questions. Yeah. I'm gonna put in the chat a link to where you can find all the information on the AI grant. And let me share my screen. Let's see real quick. Let me see, sorry. Okay, so Adam has summarized what's going to go on here. Like he said, there are 4 sessions that will be spread over 1 session a month. He's even said before that you could do session 1 and 2 back to back. And we can talk about a little bit more about that if you have questions, but you can see the titles of the sessions and the deliverables for each one. The process is to apply by August 1st. We, like Scott said, we're taking up to 60 school divisions. So make sure you get that application in today if you're not already on the list, if you haven't filled it up, because looking at what we have 43 divisions already applied and in. And then we had about 16 more divisions that signed up for informational webinar that haven't signed up. So if we take both of those groups gets us to 59. So don't wait. If you're really interested and want to participate, go ahead and fill out that form. There's no cost for this as far as the content and the services you're going to be provided. We are charging, though, an $80 per person fee for the entire 4 sessions for the cost of food. You know, we're thankful the Department of Ed is providing funds for this, but they do not provide funds for food. So that's what that's going to pay for. You want to, I think, Adam, you talked about the teams, but you want to talk about some recommended division team members, like titles or roles that they might have?
Sure. Yeah, you've heard me say this a couple of times already. With this is supposed to be system wide, and it comes up quite a bit in the work that I've been doing. That your HR folks, your communication folks, finance folks, like they all get very interested in this, and plus the reach of what they do across your district is super important. So we definitely want those folks to come to day one. I will tell you that in half of the implementations, they continue on in some of the other days because they see the value of staying kind of close to this. So they're welcome to come in 2, 3, and 4, but we certainly want them there in day one.
Right. And so, like we said, 60 divisions. What we'll do is we'll group divisions by location and by size. And our plan is to have up to 16 different, we call them hubs, the different groups. That's why we'll do that. Once you sign the form, you'll get an email from me that thanks you for registering, and we'll ask you if you want to volunteer to be a host site. In that email talks about all the requirements to be a host site. So if you want to volunteer to be a host site, you can email me back after you get that email. Some people have already done the form and have gotten that email and said, yes, count me in for a site. What do you walk away with participating in this? Of course, the professional learning about AI, working with your peers and networking with other divisions. There's going to be a division Gen AI plan that you'll walk away with, how you'll roll, what you'll do with your division. There's going to be a field kit, and there's going to be a digital platform with resources for you. So you'll get a lot out of this. So I hope you'll join. And we plan to next week start taking our list and start grouping. So you should be hearing from us pretty soon about location, dates, and times. So now we can open up to questions. Or Cindy, did I forget anything?
The only thing and maybe you said this, but I don't think so. So when you go into the application, depending on your division size, that determines how many people you can bring. So also, though, because of what Adam said, for the first session, if your superintendent only plans to attend the first session and you're a smaller division that can only bring 6 people, you can still send a 7th person for that first session, and then we'll only charge you the $20 for the lunch fee. But that's a small thing, just to let you know. If 6 is your max, we'll still be flexible on that very first session. You can just indicate that in the application when you fill it out.
So questions, don't be shy. In the last webinar, someone asked, and Adam, you can ask, what's the pros and cons of doing day 1 and 2 back to back versus waiting a month?
Yeah, sure. So day 1 is really creating that sense of urgency. It's like I said, a facilitated conversation. Day 2 is when you start, building stuff for the school district to actually operationalize. So there's no reason why you couldn't do day 1 and 2 back to back. There is some work to be done between days 2 and 3 and days 3 and 4 for you to be successful. So that's why you want those to be spread out. But again, you could spread out days 1 and 2 as well. You don't have to do them back to back.
As Amy said, are there any questions from anybody? We do see this as a historic opportunity to really, at no cost, get the kind of AI training that many districts would have to go out and really hire a consultant or try to engage in their own professional development, we're bringing national, frankly, international expertise into Virginia and to really create these learning cohorts, learning hubs. We're very excited. And again, I've not dipped my foot in until very recently. And I have to tell you, there really are game-changing possibilities for your students and teachers, and changes for what you can do in your system in terms of your operations. So it's that big, it's that broad, and it's not going away. Jason referenced Gemini. I didn't even know what Gemini was until just a week ago. There's not just one AI. There's ChatGPT, there's Copilot, there's Gemini. And so there's a whole world here to unpack. And I think, frankly, as educators right now, we have to understand this world and begin to help prepare our students and staff to interacting in it, just like any other technology that we've had. And again, also understand the parameters that we want to build. So we're excited. Let's see if there's any final questions. And if there are, we'll take them. If they're not, please be sure to turn your application in by the August 1st deadline. Any other questions, folks?
What are the requirements for school or division being a hub?
Let's see, Cindy, you want to, what?
Yep, I can pull that
needed
up real quick.
name. Yeah.
Just 1 second, I'll pull that up. So I can tell you going off the top of my head. I didn't have that pulled up right away. I do know it basically. It'd be easier if I just pulled up off the top of my head. So if you have, and Adam's here to correct me if I miss anything. So what we need is a location. If you're going to be a host site, hold up to 70 people. We need to have tables set up and arranged for group work. So maybe like round tables or rectangular tables for groups of 10 with chairs set up around the tables so that people are going to be working in groups. We do need to have one projector with sound that can work, that can connect to a Mac or a PC laptop. And then what we do ask is that we have one division tech contact for the day. We hope to not bother them, but if we can have them sort of on call if there were technical issues with the presentations there. We also do need to have people coming. This is not related to being the host site, but if people who, the attendees that are coming, make sure you bring your own laptop, and you'll want to get a AI tool account before you come. So one of those 3 that Dr. Brabrand mentioned just a few minutes ago, just to be prepared when you come. I think I got everything, Adam, there, but what we'll do, I can also email that. If you're interested in being a host site, like Amy said that she would email you that, that whole list, and you got it? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and it also says support, like they need to be able to have open internet access to some of these tools. So like if you have a filter and certain sites are blocked during this session, these sessions, we need be able to access like ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever AI platforms. But you got the rest, Cindy, off the top of your head. That was good.
Well, all right, everybody. I don't think there's any other questions. It's been 20 minutes of your time, but I hope it's seen as a worthy investment, and we look forward to partnering with you in this year of learning around Gen AI. And please get your application in as soon as possible. To be quite frank, we do predict that we're really going to have this completely booked. And we want divisions, particularly divisions that may not be able with resources of their own, to have this opportunity to be able to get in and be a part of this, frankly, historic cohort. So thank you all. 3 have signed up just during this very meeting. Apparently, Amy says, I feel like I'm on a telethon.
I feel like we're QVC. Is that what that channel is?
Yeah, but truthfully, it really is an opportunity. We had Henrico share at the spring conference, and people came up immediately and said, hey, I don't have all the resources and expertise. And through this grant with the Department of Ed, we're pulling together the resources. We're pulling together the expertise. Now we just need you to figure out the right team to step forward and be part of 4 transformative days of professional development around AI. So we look forward to seeing your application, and we look forward to working with you this year. And have a great summer, everyone. The new school year is just around the corner.